Are you ready for high-speed motorsports talk about your local short track? You've come to the right place. Get ready to hear from some of the top stars of Seekonk Speedway right here on the Race Day Rewind podcast series. We'll hear it all, from pure excitement to disappointment of coming so close, the frustrations of contact on the track, and the thrill of winning a race or a championship. The Seekonk Speedway podcast series is a production of Sousa Media. Now let's get to the show. The Seekonk Speedway podcast series is a production of Seekonk Speedway and Sousa Media. For more information on Sousa Media, visit kylesousa.com. And for more information on Seekonk Speedway, visit seekonkspeedway.com. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Seekonk Speedway podcast series as we get ready to preview the 2022 Fast Friday season. And the Everett's Auto Parts Sport 4 division is on tap for today. We are going to preview what we are expecting to see in this division. Now, I'm not going to cover everything we're going to see this year. You're going to have to come out to the track beginning on Friday, May 27th, to see the 2022 Everett's Auto Parts Sport 4 season begin. Friday, May 27th is part of our Fast Friday season opener with 5 divisions of exciting excitement. The Seekonk Grand Prix Bandolero Bandits and Outlaws, the Nick's Pit Stop Legends, the Helger South Coast Power Equipment Pure Stocks, and the Everett's Auto Parts Sport 4 is the topic of our podcast right here as we roll into the season preview edition. Of course, many of you are listened to our NASCAR Saturday recaps as we're 3 weeks in from NASCAR Saturday. However, this, my friends, is Fast Friday as we get ready to roll on Friday, May 27th. Let's talk about the Everett's Auto Parts Sport 4 division and some of the drivers we see maybe as some threats rolling into the year in this division. Now, looking forward to seeing who runs full-time and who doesn't. The word on the street is Mikey Lafort, multiple-time champion of this division, is not going to be running full-time in the Everett's Auto Parts Sport 4s in 2022. Now, that opens a big door for a lot of these other drivers to get up there and can try to compete for the championship and for feature wins over the course of the season. Let's mention a few of them. Crystal Murray is number 1, the Tiverton, Rhode Island driver, behind the wheel of the 38. For those of you that are familiar with Seekonk Speedway, you'll remember back to last year when Crystal was leading the championship battle with probably 5 or 6 weeks to go going into the season. And Crystal had to leave to go to school. Yes, she had to leave to go finish her education. And I apologize for the noise in the background here on the Sport 4 podcast. I'm sitting in my basement, my little Sousa Media office den, and they're paving my street out front. So we're going to get a little bit of paving as part of this podcast as well. Maybe we can go outside and chat with them about what they think about the Sport 4 season here at Seekonk Speedway. But about Crystal, she started off the year extremely strong last year, multiple wins in a row, and she had to leave to go to her education. She picked the education, and I commend her for that because that's a tough call. Race for the championship or go get your education. But not what she was looking for championship-wise. She is going to be a threat this year. That 1997 Mitsubishi Eclipse is strong. She comes from a dedicated family of racers. The Murray family goes back many, many years of competition. And Crystal's one to watch this year. I expect her to contend for many wins in the championship in 2022. Right there with her is got to be Carlin Levesque in his 97 Saturn. The Warwick, Rhode Island native has been part of this division for many, many years. He's comfortable in it, knows the setup, knows the cars, and knows how to get to the front of the field. Carlin Levesque is one to watch, I think, in this class for the 2022 season. So we'll keep an eye on him as we roll in. Now, a couple other names I'm watching. Fall River, Massachusetts native Tyler Duhanchik drives the Phil's Propane number 48. Tyler picked up his first career win last year in the Seekonk division in the Sport 4s, and his 95 Saturn SC2 is fast, man. They have really figured out what he needs to get to the front of the field in the number 48. Now, does that mean he's going to contend for the championship? In my opinion, yes. Tyler Duhanchik is going to be a guy we need to watch over the course of the year in this Sport 4 division. He's going to be a threat. He's going to be one we need to watch, and I think he's going to get to victory lane. And in my opinion, he's going to get to victory lane often behind the wheel of that number 48. So put Tyler Duhanchik down in your little notepad as a championship threat in the Everett's Auto Parts Sport 4 division. Couple other names to watch in this class, I think. First, Taylor Bowser, former competitor in our Seekonk Youth Racing Association divisions. Taylor moved up to the Sport 4s a couple of years ago. She struggled at times, but this could be a breakout year for her behind the wheel of the number 7. A couple of strong, consistent runs to open the season could be exactly what she needs to get her feet wet and get to the front of the pack behind the wheel of the number 7 machine. Now, Mikey LaForte in the 13, is he going to run full-time? Is he not? Word on the street is no. But if he does, he's obviously the favorite. We'll see how that goes in his 2000 Acura Integra. Multiple-time champion, multiple-time winner. Mikey LaForte's the one to watch if he runs. Dave Simpson Jr. is another interesting character to think about in this division. Runner-up last year in the championship. He's also registered on NASCAR Saturday in the Chaz Auto Body Sport Trucks. So will he run full-time? I don't know. We'll see. But if he does, championship threat, no doubt, Dave Simpson Jr. After that, there's some other drivers we got to watch. Jared Freitas in the 04. Justin Wadukes, a newcomer from Somerset in the 02. Daniel Hayes, the Fall River native, drives the 14. He's coming back this year. Stephanie Bruno, the 74, of course, the wife of Scotty Bruno, former sportsman champion, in that look-alike number 74 from Tiverton. She's going to be a threat this year, I'm sure. DJ T-Bolt, newcomer from Westport in the 78. Billman DaCosta from Plymouth in the 93. Henry LaValle's a good one. The Stonington, Connecticut native is a veteran of this division in his 2000 Acura. Multiple-time winner years ago. Continues to come out each year. Was strong in the second half of last year. I'm expecting that Henry LaValle is going to get a win this year, and I almost expect him to contend for this championship battle in 2022. I would not be surprised at all to see him at the front of the pack when the championship contention comes up towards the end of the season. So we'll keep an eye on him in the number 89. There's some other drivers in this division that are brand new. Of course, the Sport 4 is probably one of our more affordable divisions at Seekonk Speedway. It warrants some newcomers coming in from year to year to get their feet wet as they get ready to move up. And when they move up, they either move up to the Helger South Coast Power Equipment Pure Stocks on Fast Friday, or they move up into our NASCAR Saturday division. So really something to watch there to see. When you watch these races, watch these drivers and kind of think about how you could see them on NASCAR Saturday before long, because it's definitely possible. And more than possible, it's definitely likely in this division. So a lot of threats here in the Sport 4 division. A lot of drivers to watch. A lot of drivers I think can compete for the championship in 2022. And we'll see how it goes here over the course of the 2022 season. Of course, the Sport 4 is going to kick off their season on Friday, May 27th. Throw Christine Cavallero into the list. James Sullivan from Warwick, a newcomer this year. And there's many, many more in the Sport 4 division I'm expecting to run towards the front. So there's just kind of a snapshot of the Sport 4s. If you're interested in looking at their full season roster, check out SeekonkSpeedway.com and get the preview for the 2022 season in there with their division roster and who is planning on competing over the course of the season. We're going to take a quick break on the Seekonk Speedway season preview for the Everett's Auto Parts Sport 4s and welcome in a driver guest to help us along to talk about what could be coming behind the wheel of her number 38, Crystal Murray, the Tiverton, Rhode Island native, joins us right around the turn. All right, welcome back from the break in the Everett's Auto Parts Sport 4 division preview for the 2022 season. Of course, the Sport 4 division, as I mentioned in the last segment, really our up-and-coming division over the course of 2022. There's a lot of things going on in this division, and of course, I mentioned in the last segment, Mikey LaForte kind of moving on from full-time competition, so that's going to open the door for a new champion, which I think is cool. Over the last couple of years, it's really been Mikey LaForte and AJ Manuel. Those are the only two champions, I want to say, going back to maybe 2018 or so, and don't quote me on that, I have to look up the stats, but it's not a bad thing. Mikey's been really dominant in this division. He's kind of stepping away from full-time racing. I do think we'll see him out there once in a while, and maybe more often than not. I'm not sure, but he says he's going to step away from full-time action, so we'll see. But, of course, we've talked about some of the threats for the championship in 2022. I think you're going to see some different winners in this division, and I think you're going to see something we haven't seen in a while in this division. And to be honest with the race fans, I think we're going to see some lap traffic early in the year. There's some of these guys and girls that are entering this division that are a little bit less experienced than some of the others that have been in it for many, many years. And I expect that to play a role in some of the races because some of these guys and girls are going to take a little bit to get up to speed. and it's going to take them some time to get where they need to be to race at the front of the field. So we're going to be very interested to see how that shakes out over the course of the season. But nonetheless, I think it's going to be exciting in the Everett's Auto Parts Sport 4s in 2022. And we have a guest that's joining us here on the hotline. I don't want to waste too much time before we bring her in here. She's going to help us kind of wrap the season preview edition for the Everett's Auto Parts Sport 4 and talk about what she's expecting over the course of the 2022 season behind the wheel of her green number 38. Now, Crystal Murray is a multiple-time winner, as I mentioned in the last segment in this division. She picked up a couple in a row last year before she had to go away to school. And we commended her in the last segment for doing that, for not worrying about the racing too much. She went to school. She actually went across the coast for that. Let's bring her in and let her kind of help us through here. So, Crystal, kind of give our fans a rundown on what happened at the end of last year, because you were leading the points. And then, as I've mentioned here, you decided to go kind of further your education and really did some great things across the country. And unfortunately, you gave up the championship doing it. But in the grand scheme of things, it seems like it was a great decision, and you're on a good path here educational-wise going forward.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I went into the season knowing that I was not going to be able to make those last 3 weeks. I did not anticipate being in the position that I was at the end of the season to have to be in the run for a championship, that I would have to actually not finish those last 3 weeks. But I went over to Montana Glacier National Park to do some work over there, and it was a lot of fun. And it was definitely a pretty cool life experience. But it'll be really nice to be back and hopefully be able to compete in all the weeks here this year. So that'll be a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, Crystal's obviously going to be a major threat for the championship here, and we wrote up in our division preview that's written, that went up on Facebook earlier this week, that, question is she the favorite for this championship? And obviously she's up there at the top of the list. Of course, we mentioned Carlin Levesque as a veteran of this division is going to be up there, one we expect to kind of compete for wins. And Tyler Duhanchik came on strong last year, so we expect him to be up there. Who knows who else over the course of the season? The Sport 4 division is known for having one or two drivers kind of come out of nowhere and race for the championship. And, of course, with this playoff format, with who knows how things are going to shake out, we really do not know. And I mean that seriously. We really do not know who's going to win this championship going into the year. Crystal, obviously you want to be the one that's hoisting that championship crown, but how difficult do you think this is going to be? I mean, this division, I mentioned the lap traffic, I mentioned the rising stars in this class, the rookies, and some of you veterans that are out there. So how tough do you think this is going to be to compete?
I mean, nothing's easy out on that track, so it'll, of course, be a very tough battle. There's a lot of people that I've been battling with over the past, I don't know how many years I've been doing this. Maybe this is my second or third year. But this will be my first full year, so I'm really excited for that. But yeah, it'll be a little different, especially with the new championship format, because it really is the last race that matters in terms of actually getting that full championship, in terms of winning it. It's not just a full season deal. Like, the season matters, but it really does come down to that last race. It's similar to like the Triple Crown. It's just for a lot more. So I'm excited for that, but it'll be definitely different and definitely not easy and a lot of fun.
Yeah, Crystal's makes some good points here. This new playoff format is not going to be easy. I know you, the fans, are going to be excited on that last night when you don't know who's going to win the title till right down to the last lap. But it is very stressful from a driver's perspective. If I've learned anything here at the beginning of the year, these drivers are stressed out about it. They're nervous about it. And, maybe in some ways that's a good thing for them to be a little bit nervous. I don't think Crystal's going to be nervous racing out there on the track at all. She's, I don't want to call her a veteran, but she's a little bit more of a veteran compared to some of these other guys. Excuse me, as we roll into 2022. Now, Crystal, your brother, I almost said your son. He is definitely not your son. Richie Murray has been racing on NASCAR Saturday, and 3 top 5s to open the year from him. You missed some of his races at the end of the last year when you went across the country there. So you must be excited to be back at the track with him as well, and kind of seeing his success here on Saturday, which I'm sure at some point in your career you want to go up there and get to NASCAR Saturday as well and race against them.
Yeah, that could be fun, but we do have one trailer and one crew, so splitting it between Friday and Saturday is definitely the better decision. And it's different. It's a whole different. I don't know how to put it, but like a vibe between Saturday and Fridays. Like, Fridays is very much a more calm vibe, and I'm really out there for a lot of fun. And Richie is definitely out there for fun, but like it is a more competitive environment. But it is pretty cool helping out on the late model a little bit, or just kind of being there in the pits, and he's doing really well. So I am, I don't know, rooting for him too. So it's pretty awesome that we're both doing pretty well and have been for the uh, most recent years.
Yeah, I mean, they've both been at the front. Of course, the Murray family, a long-standing front runner here at Seekonk. Now, they also have one of the loudest fan bases at the track, and when Crystal wins, which I'm sure is going to happen here across the First Friday season, make sure you're there because you will know where they are in the grandstands. There is no doubt about that. Now, Crystal, you got a lot of people that are helping you. That fan club is obviously a major factor for you. But who are some of the other people? Some sponsors, maybe some family members. You mentioned your crew. Who are those people that make it possible for you to go out there and race and race for the championship this year?
Yeah, I mean, the people on my crew, I really wouldn't be there without them. My dad is like the crew chief, the everything of the team, and it's always like if he's not there, there's no team. But everybody else on the crew, we have Doug, we have AJ, we have my brother, we have grandma and grandpa who always come and support and help, and my meme and my mom. Um, but like even just our sponsors are like amazing as well. Like we have Alan at Truck and Auto Parts, Richie Helger at Helger South Coast Power Equipment, Ryan from Quick Oil, Hedges, Jeremy and Josh at Hedges Excavating. It really wouldn't be we wouldn't be able to do this if it wasn't for them. Like B&M Maintenance and Bunham have been there since the beginning as well. Our team is it's it's coming together and it's been a lot of fun, and we can't give enough support and thanks to everybody who helps out.
Yeah,
Um,
without those sponsors, it really would not be possible. And we say that across all of our divisions for all of our drivers. But Crystal reiterates it here that really the sponsors, and you all listening out there could be sponsors. Some of you listening, but without the sponsors, this would not be possible for these race teams to go out there and really to entertain the fans. I know that everybody wants to win, everybody wants that glory of winning and to win the championship. But without the fans that are listening, there'd be no track. I mean, we can't operate without the fans. We did for one season, Fast Friday only, and I did not like it at all with no fans in the stands. So hopefully we never have to do that again. Crystal, we appreciate some time here in the preview podcast for the Sport Fours. I have a feeling we're going to be chatting with you a lot more here as we move into 2022 on the podcast as you kind of become a major contender in this division. We wish you good luck. And we'll chat with you again soon and see if we're opening night here coming up in just a few days.
cool. See ya.
All right. That's been Crystal Murray. Want to appreciate her time here in the Race Day Rewind podcast. Not a rewind this time, a preview of 2022. This time for the Everett's Auto Parts Sport 4s, we talked about Crystal and so many more of these contenders we think are going to run at the front for this championship in 2022. So again, really want to thank Crystal for taking some time to chat with us. And thank you, the race fans, for listening to the Seekonk Speedway preview series for the Everett's Auto Parts Sport 4s. I am Kyle Souza with Souza Media and the Seekonk Speedway, of course. Thanks to Crystal and thanks to you, the fans, for listening. We will see you on Fast Friday. The opener is Friday, May 27th. It's just $10 for adults to get in the gate. Kids 12 and under are free, and of course, parking is free as well. What better entertainment can you get on a Friday night than Seekonk Speedway? I guarantee you it's more expensive to go to the Regal Cinemas, and with that, I'm not even sure there is a Regal Cinemas still open. I don't know. I've never been to the movies probably in about 10 years, so that's enough of me for now. Thanks for listening to the Sport 4 preview, and we'll see you at the track real soon.